My name is Master Sean Pearson, and this is the video Dojang. In this episode of the video Dojang, I want to talk about the GHA's slapping hand sets. So in the color belt curriculum, we have 4 slapping hand sets. And these sets are intentionally added to the curriculum to help instructors get their students to be able to move their hands independent of each other. Typically when new students start, they can't move each hand individually. And you know, the old thing where you pat your head and rub your stomach, where most people can't do that, that's exactly what we have when new students start in Hapkido. So we have these slapping hand sets that can be done with 2 people or against a heavy bag or a pole or anything like that. So they can be practiced by yourself or with 2 people. So we have 4 sets of these. The first set really just focuses on moving one hand at a time in different positions. And then as we move up, the sets focus on moving our hands independent of each other or together or separate and so on. And as I said, we only have 4 for the color belts, but we have a whole bunch of them for the black belt ranks. So these are the GHA's 4 color belt slapping hand sets. Slapping hand set number 1 is by far the easiest of the slapping hand sets, and because each hand moves by itself. So the other hand can either stay up in a guard position or just hang down by the person's side when they're not doing it. And it's basically 3 slaps on each side for one rotation of the set. So when we start, we face our opponent, or in this case, a heavy bag, and we slap. We'll start with our right hand. We slap with our right hand at basically face height. So if we're doing this with a partner, we both obviously need to slap at the same height, so we slap hands. So we're doing this pretty much at face height. So we slap from out to in with our right hand, then we bring it through the hand, or in this case, the heavy bag, and we rotate it downward, and we slap down at belt height. Then we bring our hand back the same path that it just went, and we slap with our hand on the same side as we did below. So 3 slaps. 1 face height, around, down at belt height, back around, and back at face height again. Now this can be done with the back of the hand. It's just that obviously it's not very comfortable slapping like that. So you can go palm, palm, and back of your hand, which would help teach a body backhand block, or in this case a face backhand block. But the way it's written in the curriculum, we use a palm for all this. So 1, 2, 3, then we do the same thing with our other hand. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And so on. So this is like a martial art version of patty cake. As you can see, only one hand is moving at a time. But we're going to different heights in different directions. Most people find the third slap is somewhat awkward because of how our hand moves. But this is a motion we use in a lot of the Hapkido curriculum, in our forms, in our self-defense, and in some of our counter-grappling for blocks. So they're very important, all 3 of these. So that is the GHA set 1 slapping hands. Set 2 of the slapping hand sets teaches the students how to move both hands together in the same direction. So just like set 1, this is a very simple slapping hand set. However, it does, just like set 1, put our hands in some interesting positions. So what we're going to do is the first two are going to be either face height or shoulder height. We take our hands and we swing them both in the same direction with our palms facing what we're slapping, in this case, the heavy bag. So I slap left, slap right, and then I come back, turn my hands over, then come back, slap right, slap left at shoulder height. Then we go low. Turn our hands over, 1, 2, turn our hands over, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so where the students are going to have a hard time with this is when we are slapping is having our palms facing the same direction. A lot of times you'll see this. They'll hit with their back hand on one of their hands when they're doing. So both palms, both palms, both palms, both palms. So this is slapping hand set 2. And it really focuses on moving both hands at the same time, in the same direction. Set 3 of the GHA slapping hand set for the color belts is the first set that introduces moving 2 hands together and then moving 1 hand by itself. This is a big step up from set 2. So the way we're going to start is basically in the same position we're going to start for slapping hand set 4 also. One hand is up by our ear, the hand that's on the ear side, and the other hand is actually down below by our armpit. And what we're going to do is both hands are going to slap at the same time. So one is, again, shoulder height and one's down low. It is a little challenging with the heavy bag because, it's a little awkward on distancing, but with slapping, it's really not that big of a problem. So you can just hit with the end of your fingers on this heavy bag. So we slap with both our right and left hand at the same time, continue to move across, and as I do, I'm going to switch my hands, so my left hand comes up by my ear and my right hand goes down by my armpit. But instead of just stopping there and coming back, what I'm going to do is, as my hands switch, the hand that was on top is actually going to slap down and then come back underneath my armpit. So we have 2 slaps and 1 slap. So now I'm on the other side with my left hand by my left ear, my right hand in my right armpit. Do the same thing. Come straight across, both hands slap. As my hands come over, my right hand comes down, my left hand comes down as my right hand's coming up. It slaps and it comes back. So over, slap, over, slap, over, slap, over, slap. So 2 strikes, 2 slaps, and then a slap down. So whatever hand is on top just continues to move over. So what is that? That's same as set number 1, except for now we're integrating that into this one. So both hands slap, top hand comes down and back into our armpit. Both hands slap, top hand comes down, slaps back into our armpit. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Sticking hand set number 3. Slapping hand set number 4 is by far the most difficult out of the 4 sets. Now, it's not that difficult compared to the ones we do at the Dan ranks, but for the color belts, this is a very challenging set of slaps. What's nice about this is the foundation for a lot of what we do within our GHA techniques. For example, blocking into a strike or blocking into a joint lock. The patterns within this set are the foundation for all those techniques. It is also commonly practiced in a lot of other martial arts as well. So this is slapping hand set number 4. It starts in the same position that we did for number 3, hand by the ear, other hand in the armpit. And by the way, this was the set I was doing in the very opening of this video. So we slap with our top ear hand, and then we put it on our shoulder. we slap with our lower hand and we put it on our ear. Now we take our shoulder hand and we slap out and then we bring it back and put it in our armpit. So that motion is basically the same motion that was in set number 3. So it's 3 strikes or 3 slaps. 1, shoulder, 2, ear, 3, armpit. And then we do the same thing on the other side. 1, shoulder, 2, ear, 3, armpit. Now this one, we're striking at the same height, so pretty much body height. You can do this varying heights if you want. You can actually do it hitting down or hitting up. It's a lot more advanced than what we need for color belt level. So in this case, we're just going to hit roughly at chest height, the center, so when we're doing this with a partner, everyone knows where we're going to be slapping. So again, ear, slap, shoulder, from our armpit out to ear, from our shoulder out back to armpit. 1, 2, 3. Now the trick to this is you don't want to, when we're practicing this, we want to try to maintain a somewhat constant rhythm. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is usually a better way of practicing this, because otherwise the students will do this. 1, 2, 3. And they might even do it fast. And then they pause. So that's not really good, especially when we're practicing with a partner. So we want to maintain slightly constant rhythm. Now, usually there is a slight pause in between the 1, 3 and the other 3 because they're separate sets. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're trying to do this as a constant beat. If you do that, especially with a partner, then you typically don't lose focus. What will happen is one person will pause a little bit longer and then that messes up the other person. So, no thinking. As soon as you think, especially when you're going faster, that's when the mistakes are made. So we just 1, shoulder, 2, ear, 3, armpit. 1, shoulder, 2, ear, 3, armpit. And if you notice, when I'm doing this a little bit faster, this hand starts moving as this hand's coming back. And as this hand's retracting, this hand's already coming out. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the only way you can do it without a pause, is to try to have both hands moving independent of each other, which is what this set teaches. Sticking hand set number 4. See you next time in Video Dojang.